173.
Prices are all on these.
Yes, I had 10% off of those too. So, all right. Hey, Internet. I'm extremely tired today too, so it's gonna be a fun one. Hey, Internet. This is Chaz.
This is Dan. Welcome to Wine is Serious Business, episode 173. We're drinking pink wine out of season. Spring is coming fairly soon here, but we've still got some 2011 Rosés on the shelf. The 2012s will be rolling out really soon. Chaz saw these, thought let's check in and see what some Rosés taste like right before they go off the market.
It was, well, there are ones that I didn't get to this year that I was sort of interested in. I was like, well, let's just go ahead and grab them. We'll take a look. The producers tend to make a fairly consistent product year to year, so I was like, let's take a look at these. So the first one we got is the Grochau, or are we doing?
We're going to start on this side.
Okay, so first one we got is the Witness Tree Remari Rosato 2011. Witness Tree is a producer I liked for a long time. They're right next to Ibsham Wood down in southern end of the Willamette Valley, the old Amity. They've never had their rosé before though, so.
And they've been around for a while. I've had
Yeah.
bottles of theirs from the late 90s. I'm not sure how far before then they start, but they've been around for quite some time. Very well respected producer by a lot of different people. I guess just for really no good reason. We haven't had them on the show a lot, but definitely some wines that I like to check in on from time to time. So I'm curious to see how this goes.
Man, this smells good.
Yeah.
And it smells just wonderful.
A little like strawberry and apple.
And it's got this sweet strawberry fruit thing. It's really, really nice. Very fresh.
And just a touch of something tropical too, like a little richness in there.
I would agree. I totally agree. I wanted to go like strawberries and cream or something like that. But
sure.
It's like, I don't know if I'd go with like sugary richness. It's more.
I don't think dairy so much, but yeah, like that richness is there. However you cut it.
Yeah.
A little bit of lightness on the palate. I like the feel of the acidity. It sits kind of nicely in the front. Fruit flavors are pretty light though. A little bit of strawberry there.
Yeah, it's weird. Almost like a disappearing act going on here with the flavors on the palate, because the nose is so. There's a lot to the nose, and it's very easy to see it, to smell, and understand. And there's very little going on the palate, fruit-wise, compared to what smells like. The wine smells.
Yeah, a little bit of those strawberries, a little bit of something in line with that richness. Again, I can't. I'm going to stick with something a little tropical, but it's not like, full-on mango or like, crazy pineapple or anything like that. Just a little touch of richness. And the acidity lingers nicely on the palate, so it's clean, it's well put together. It's just the flavors aren't generating a lot of excitement, I guess.
Right, it's sort of like maybe if you, I dehydrate fruit fairly regularly. Like if you dehydrated the strawberries, there's not a lot of intensity of flavor there. Like you're trying to chew them and really work the fruit to get the flavor out of it. That's sort of what's going on here. It's like you expect, sort of fresh flavors based on what the nose is, and then it's just like you sort of almost have to look for the fruit in this one. So,
what's your favorite dehydrated fruit?
man, take a Granny Smith apple, and a piece of strawberry at the same time, and both.
Is better than the Honeycrisp apple?
Oh yes,
Wow.
Granny Smith's the best one to dehydrate in my opinion.
Nice.
Just because of how tart it is, that tartness comes through. Anyway. So yeah, with this, man, it's
getting tough to. I'm going to say 84 points on it. I like it. Nothing's really wrong on it, and like the structural elements are kind of there, and that's kind of where we are with our rating system, right? I'll say it again. I think anything we give over 80 points, I think offers enjoyable quality, kind of in the price spectrum, is worth checking out.
Absolutely.
Right? Not a lot of excitement, but it's well put together, easy drinking, it works.
I'm going to go 83 points on it because it is, Dan hit correctly on it, it is structurally a very nice wine. It's got great acidity. It smells wonderful. It's just the palate is very subtle and very toned down.
I'm suspicious that we're probably 6 months late on this, right? Like, this probably would have been a lot more interesting.
Are we 6 months late on it? Do you guys out there?
Curious, yeah. I bet maybe somebody.
Is there a thing in rosé? Because do some rosés age?
So I've got a thing on this that I'm going to throw in once we get to the end. I've got a theory on this that that this is really making me think more about. But before we get to that, I'm gonna move on to wine number 2.
My bad.
Or big rinse. That's fine.
So yeah, go ahead and talk. I'll pour.
Okay, yeah. Wine number 2 here. This is the Board Track Racer from Board Track Cellars, but it's got Mark Ryan's name on the front of the label, so it's got to be a second label of his. This is the Vincent Rosé, Columbia Valley fruit. Don't really know much else about it besides that, but like we mentioned before, we really respect some of the big red wines that Mark Ryan does. We really need to get 1 or 2 of those on the show at some point. I'm realizing as we say this, we're about due for some more purple on the table here, and he'd be a good candidate for that. But anyway, right, so we've got some respect for him. Curious to see what his rosé tastes like. Here it is. Also, they're all 2011s.
Really light nose compared to the Witness Tree.
Wow. You know, I'm going to go with this is like a full slice of watermelon, right? It's like really light, and there's just a little bit of that green rind of the watermelon on there too.
Just on the edges, yeah.
It's not just the fruit, but, you know, just light, straight to the point.
Yep. I would totally agree. Light watermelon aromas is sort of all I'm getting.
A little bit of watermelon shows up on the start of the palate as well. That's kind of where the flavors are.
What is that?
Oh. It starts out pretty fresh, actually, and I think it's improved since we first tasted it. But there is a little bitterness that kind of settles in, both kind of on the roof of the mouth and on the back of the palate as this kind of finishes up. And since the flavors are so light to begin with, it's pretty distracting.
Totally agree. The flavors are light to begin with, but it's like the combination of tartness and then with the acidity doesn't have the best feel to it. And the way it hits is like a round ball in the back of the throat, like it's not even on my tongue almost. And it catches me off guard every single time. Like we pre-tasted this, and then we kind of like watched these evolve for 15-20 minutes while we've been sitting here discussing, doing the show, and then it still is just, there's something rough, a rough quality to this wine that I just don't enjoy.
Yeah.
So
talking about a rating scale again, this takes me down to 79 points. Like I said, the bitterness that comes in late doesn't integrate so much, just kind of messes up the really light flavors that come in on it. Again, maybe this would have been better on release, but now is not the time for this one.
Absolutely not. 75 points for me.
All right.
I can't recommend it.
All right.
So
Time to move on. This is the Grochau Cellars Willamette Valley. Willamette Valley Rosé of Pinot Noir. So we'll have to ask him next time we get him on the show. We'll ask him, where he usually brings the rosé from, if there's a consistent fruit source, or if it varies, if it's a blend that he kind of makes as the winemaking progresses.
But saw this one on the shelf, and this is actually the wine that piqued the interest for the show, because I don't know if I've had this yet or not. Did we have this when we were drinking with them last time?
I don't remember either. I kind of don't think so, but our friend Matt, who's been on the show a number of times, was really talking it up. He was really excited about it.
Right. So really wanted to get this one on the show before it disappeared, so here we are.
Here it is.
Yeah.
A lot going on in the nose here, again.
That smells really good. It's almost like the cherry cough lozenges, along with like some potpourri or cherry candy.
Sure, no, I can totally see it. At first I was like, oh, that's a ridiculous thing to say, and I smell it again, like, oh, no, not that it's got like a medicinal scent, but it's a little that candied scent. It really, like the cherry cough drops don't have any medicine in them anyway. An excuse to eat cherry candies.
That's a good excuse, if
Yeah.
you're sick. A little bit of potpourri and some good red fruit going on. This smells really good.
Yeah. Nice full cherry flavors on the palate, and not super dark cherries like kind of the lighter, riper cherries, but they really fill the mouth up. I like that.
Totally. And the way that the fruit progresses, I know the acidity takes a long time to like creep all the way across the tongue.
And I'm getting just the slightest bit of vanilla kind of lingering over the top of it on the finish too, which works really well with the fruit.
There's a bit of weight to this. It's the fruit here and the acidity is really well integrated. This is
Yeah.
This is drinking good.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, it's in a nice place. It's improved definitely even a bit since it's opened up. It's definitely become kind of a single package. Pretty well, really well integrated.
Yeah,
like I said,
exactly.
Kind of smooth around the edges. Like I like that feeling.
And that's what rosé is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Good fresh flavors, wonderful acidity on that.
Yeah, so really well put together. 88 points for me, and I'll let you.
No, I'm gonna completely agree. 88 points for me as well. And one, if you do see it on the shelf, I think this one's comes in right around $15, $14. See it on the shelf. You want rosé? You can get that one.
And I bet it again. The new vintage coming out before too long. You're probably going to see this in the discount bin for too long. And if you're picking this up for like $10,
yeah,
it's a great buy.
Don't hesitate.
Yeah, it's a great buy. So the theory I've been having is that, and I was exposed to this recently, like wines when they're freshly bottled have a little more CO2 in them. And I was talking to Todd Hamina from Biggio Hamina Wines when I was out tasting. I think for Thanksgiving weekend, he was talking about how that really imparts a different character to freshly bottled wines, and for a long time I've kind of noticed that. I mean, everybody kind of knows stuff that's like right in the bottle. It's got a little bit different character to it, and that I think explains a lot of it. And he's like, yeah, it's a little more lively, it's a little brighter, and the thing that really hit home for me was when he said that a lot of times it can be mistaken for more acidity, and I was like, I totally believe it, and for that to be a reason why I like freshly bottled wines a little more than I hear from a lot of other people, right? And just like I like a little more acid than a lot of people do. And that's something, rosés you're usually tasting when they're freshly bottled, so a little bit of that CO2, even if it's not a little bit of fizzy, right? Which is kind of an okay thing sometimes, but even if it's not to that point, there's a little extra feeling of crispness that I'm believing comes with CO2. So that's a great point for other winemakers or experts who are watching this to chip in, because I know you guys do. It's kind of weird. I never expected that to be part of our audience, but you guys are. So yeah. So chime in, and if you've got an opinion on that CO2 in young wines, especially rosés, we'd love to hear it. On to everybody else. Do you have any idea of the question of the day?
Well, do rosés age? And if so, what ones do age?
Yes. That'd be great. Tell us a story of a good aged rosé you've had.
Yeah, what's the oldest Oregon rosé you've had?
Yeah.
From release. Anyway.
More of a conversation of the day.
Yeah.
We've got some cool people watching.
Yeah.
We've got some good comments both on Facebook and YouTube lately. You need to check on YouTube.
I've been looking at all the Facebook stuff, but not the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, so like big shout out to like Joey and David and John and that Brian.
Wow.
Just all these people, right? For Paul. Yeah, Paul's been really in on the game lately. Thanks for participating, making it more interesting.
I'm gonna have to check in on that.
Yeah. Like it's getting better, and it's because of you guys. We're still doing the same thing we've been doing for years, so we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week.
See you guys next time.